I just want to thank everyone for being here today to celebrate my achievement. For those of you that travel from far away, your efforts to be here means a lot to me. And seeing all my social circles here together makes me feel and understand that I am worthy of love, support, and all the praise that'll be raining down upon me throughout the party. So thank you for making me feel special, and I'm grateful to each and every single one of you. And then Stephen Libby, thank you for letting us crash in your backyard. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And so I'm just gonna start off by saying I'm not that smart. I struggled.
We know that.
Yeah, no. I struggled through school for most of my academic career, and I was undiagnosed with ADHD, and I didn't even find out about it, funnily enough, until I started grad school at 31. It helped explain a lot of things, like how I struggled through high school. I struggled with focusing, the pacing of some classes, and I simply just couldn't keep up. Ultimately, I graduated high school with a 2.2, and however, I did turn it around in my undergrad, and I started to find routines and coping mechanisms that I needed to, manage myself, and I did end up graduating with a 3.3. Since then, I've been an educator for the last 9 years. I feel like being a teacher provided me with a very unique perspective. I owe a lot of my success in grad school for this. For years, I've been coaching kids on what it takes to be successful, breaking down assignments, making time for their work, and not waiting for time to magically appear, and creating structures and routines to take those incremental steps to ensure success. Finally, I remind them to love themselves enough to invest the time, effort, and energy it takes to achieve their goals. So I just put into practice what I preached. It was a lot easier said than done, but knock on wood, if all goes well, I will have attained a 4.0 in grad school. With that, part of this degree belongs to my past, present, and future students because they instilled within me the drive to be a role model. I want to be an example for them to look up to and show them that it is possible. For those who are struggling, that they just haven't found their way yet. I want to show them that ADHD is not a disability that defines an individual, that it is possible to find what works for you, and you too can achieve whatever goals you set for yourself. Again, I'm nothing special. Through a lot of trial and error, I found what works for me. I truly believe in every single one of my students and that they can achieve the goals that they set for themselves, and that they just have to find their way. I'm just an example of a way. To my friends, thank you for providing me with a safe space to speak freely about the horrible things I've uncovered throughout the program. For humoring me while I trauma dumped on you. For working with my schedule and granting me leniency when I crawled into my hovel to write and research. For jumping on and gaming with me at a moment's notice, because that's all the time I had. And hyping me up and celebrating every victory along the way. For inflating my ego and showing me that I'm worthy. I love you all, and thank you, and part of this degree belongs to you. To my darling wife. Thank you for your never-ending love and support. Thank you for being a sounding board and for helping me process through some of the horrible insights I've come across. For reassuring me and catching me in my spirals. For pushing me to nurture my physical and mental health. So that I could be at my best. You have always motivated me to be better than I am. It is your standard that I live up to, and I am forever grateful. You see all the potential in me, and I'm honored to bring it to fruition. And throughout these years, I know I haven't been the easiest to live with. I know I became consumed with my work and my research, so thank you for braving it out with me. Whenever I've wavered, you've been there to remind me of what I've accomplished in my life. I love you, forever and always. I wouldn't have this degree without you. So, the majority of this degree belongs to you. And finally, I want to give a somber acknowledgement to the lives of the enslaved. For those of you who don't know, I earned my master's in American history with an emphasis on the lives of the enslaved. I won't go into the specifics unless you pull me for chat and ask, but let's just say the most depraved thought you can possibly utter, multiply that by tenfold and you wouldn't even scratch the surface. There have been countless instances in which I had to excuse myself from my research just to take a lap and to process what I have uncovered. What motivated me was a profound curiosity to understand the mentality of what justified the mistreatment of other human beings, to understand how to create an other. What systems, institutions, and beliefs were in place that could justify the mistreatment of these people? And how was it that through all this trauma and sadness that their souls endured, established networks of communities in order to support one another? How is it that they still managed to find love and create families in all that chaos? And so I'm gonna stand on my soapbox here for a moment. And so one big takeaway from all these questions is that shit's fucked. And we have had, and we currently have, a lot of fucked up systems in place that are designed to subjugate others while propping up and protecting the privileged patriarchy. But way more importantly, what I learned is that the human spirit is resilient. Through the countless instances in which bigotry, ignorance, and hate were weaponized in order to discredit, dehumanize, and demonize others, communities banded together, and in the face of the adversity, their humanity shone through. I understand that the resilience of the human spirit can and will persevere against all odds. So, the great MLK believed that, and I quote, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice." And so I say, change takes a long time, but it does happen. However, change is not passive. So, I intend on using my education and my platform to educate our youth about the injustices of the past and present, in order to create a world in which we can better understand one another, one of sympathy and empathy for the struggles of others. So with that, I want to close with Brother X, and as he says, if you want something, you had better make some noise. So, cheers to me, cheers to you, and a loud, rowdy cheer for progress and equity for all. There you go. Thank you for humoring me.
What a speech.
Nice.
I'm allowed to run for office.
Wow.
I'll vote for him.